And I took a few notes here while they were talking inside there. I think Peter Matthews mentioned a book that he has delivered to Enda Kenny's office, and we just got word there that Enda is going to read that book. As soon as he said he's not finished yet with the book he got last Christmas. He still has a few pages to colour in. So, I don't know if you saw one of the TDs that spoke inside there was Jerry Buttimer. I'd like to tell you a little story about Jerry Buttimer. That's Doctor Who, yeah. Jerry Buttimer is funny because, and Jerry, it's kind of odd because Jerry talked about, you know, a magic wand, that we think that there's going to be a magic wand that's going to be waved to get rid of all this debt. But this government, I think, of the crowd that first brought out the magic wand, because I think it was last February we were told that the 25 billion in promissory note debt was somehow magically gone. But as we all know, it's not gone. It's not gone. It's kind of ironic. But Jerry Buttimer, we met him inside here one day, Fiona and myself, and we asked him, we were going around doing our business with this motion, asked him if he would hand it to the Fine Gael party, you know, for them to consider, because we were trying to get all parties to fall in behind this motion. This is why we kept it as simple as we could, even though apparently it was too complex for another Cork TD last night, Mr. Jim Daly. Didn't seem to understand it at all. But Jerry said to us, when we said, Jerry, would you hand this to the Fine Gael party? And what Jerry said to us was, oh gosh, he says, I couldn't do that. He says, I'm only a backbencher. I'm only a backbencher. And this is the problem with the people of the government parties, especially inside here. You know, it's not related to a democracy inside there. You have 4 people who are dictating all policy, and all the rest of them are doing, they're just nodding their heads, like they're going to go through the motions here, and they'll nod their heads against, or they'll be any way that they're told. But it passed my mind, you know, that here is Jerry Buttimer. Now, I've come across Jerry Buttimer in a previous life. He used to be PRO of the Cork County Board, and I can assure you that Jerry Buttimer is a very feisty individual, very well able to fight his own corner. But somehow or other, he and others like him go in there, and they put on, as they were inside the party suit and the party jacket, and suddenly they become these little boys and little girls who do exactly what they're told, who have no minds of their own, no conscience of their own, no principles of their own, no beliefs of their own. And I would say that any of you out there who got letters in reply when you sent in the emails asking your local TDs, you know, to vote for this, you will all have got, I would say, the same email coming from the same people, you know, because they are at this stage incapable of thinking for themselves. They're just incapable of it. They just go in there and they do what they're told. There are 4 people inside there who are running everything, absolutely everything. So a few words, and it was mentioned there, and Luke did it in the speech. They talked about the partners, our new partners. And you can hear this over and over again. And Pascal was at it last night on the late debate on RTE. Our new partners in Europe, our new partners in Europe. And I said it to him last night, and I'll say it again tonight. You know, if you're in an abusive relationship, which we are with these so-called partners, and if they are beating you up day in, day out, which is what is happening to the people of this country, and they are being beaten up day in, day out, then you leave that relationship. They're not partners, they're abusers. And that's what we have with the EU and the ECB. We have been bullied and blackmailed and browbeaten into accepting a debt, or our government has, that is not ours. So that's what Enda talked. Now, they are his partners, we'd have to say that. Enda and Michael and the rest of them in there, they are their partners, because they're doing everything that they're being told to do. And we heard it again there tonight from the Minister in his summation at the end, when he said, and I wrote this down, he said, because it was worth writing down, he said, we have met every target set by the Troika. Here's a guy inside there boasting, you know, we have jumped through every hoop that they set in front of us. We have done absolutely everything that they've asked us to do. Apparently, Europe is very, very happy with us. The markets are very, very happy with us. But as I said again last night, if you're robbing Peter to pay Paul, Paul will always be happy with you. Of course he will be happy with you. You know, but I think Stephen Donnelly said it there tonight. We didn't elect these guys in there, you know, to go and kowtow to Europe. We want them to create a fuss in Europe. We wanted them to fight in Europe, but they're not doing it. They are, and I said this before, they're a coward government. They're a cowed government. I don't know if you've ever heard of Stockholm Syndrome. You know, Stockholm Syndrome is where the kidnapped person, you know, somehow almost falls in love with the kidnapper because they become so reliant on the kidnapper for everything that they get. And this is exactly what we have inside here with those people. They're suffering from classic Stockholm Syndrome. Classic Stockholm Syndrome. Because at this stage, the only people that they can see to please are the people who have put us under the cosh. Our new masters in Europe. And we are, when I say debt slaves, we are debt slaves for the next 40 years under the deal that Michael Noonan has done. We are debt slaves because that 25 billion, and it's only the 25 billion, there is another 6 billion. But if you just take the 25 billion, that money, not 1 cent of it went for the good of the Irish people. Not a single cent of it. And that's all that was being discussed inside that tonight. That was all we were asking them to consider tonight. No other part of the debt, just the promissory notes. But that 25 billion will be destroyed. But over the next 40 years, it's 72 billion. Now we know the steps that this government have taken over the last 2 or 3 years to drive the young people out of this country, to encourage them off the live register so that they can do what they did today and yesterday and boast about the figures, the reduced unemployment. And we all know here, because I would say nearly everybody out in here, and certainly I can, talk and know about the effects of their policies and the immigration, about families devastated, about communities devastated. And this is the real impact of what's happening with the policies that they are taking inside there. But there's never, ever any reference to any of that by any of those inside there. So it's, we have 1 or 2 more people that we're going to call on here. One of the things that's, and I'm going to finish at this here because Fiona's after giving me the finger here. But one minute. But one of the things that we were asked, and Pascal asked me last night, and I thought really, it kind of threw me, I have to say, because I was asked, and you know, he stopped the press at home then because he could see I was throwing a little bit, you know, and he said, like if this is defeated tomorrow night, which we knew it was going to be, he said, what are you going to do next? And I'm looking across the table at him, you know, and like a lot of people know I have a full-time job, which a lot of people probably wouldn't consider to be a job at all, but it is a full-time job, takes up a lot of time, and Fiona has a full-time job. All the people out here nearly that are working on this and that have come up tonight from Ballyhea and from Charleville and from Tralee and Killarney and Rathose and Dundalk and various other places, from down as far as Skibbereen and West Cork and Bandon. Like, we're all doing this in our spare time. And here was a €200,000 a year minister asking me what we're going to do next if this motion inside here fails. And I have to say I was a little bit thrown by it, like, because I kind of said to him, well, Pascal, like, isn't that your job? You know, you're the man that we're sending to Europe to negotiate on our behalf. And you're asking me what we're going to do next if the motion that we're asking you to adopt is shot down by you. People are saying, what are we going to do next? I think it's absolutely critical that all of us here stay in contact. We have to stay in contact, you know, because, I mean, I know we're a small group, but we're very, very powerful. You know, and we're far more powerful than people think you are, because, like, we didn't think 143 weeks ago that we'd end up outside the Dáil here watching a motion that we presented, you know, being presented and voted on inside there. Our next move would be to go back to Europe, because the reason we brought this here was because the last time we were in Europe, they said to us, you know, one of the things you have to do is to ask your own government to ask for this. Well, we've asked, you know, and they've said no. So we now know where they stand. We're going, our next move will be to go back to Europe. But we hope when we go back to Europe that we'll be that bit stronger than we were the last time. And that all of you will be with us in some shape or form or another. Maybe some of you will do what we do, like, and come over and we stay in very, very fancy hotels and everything over there. We don't. But hopefully at this stage, and this is what we have to do now, is we have to get together and we have to build. Because I've said it many times before here, the ultimate authority and the ultimate power is still outside these gates, not inside the gates. Okay? that's what we do. Now I hand over to Fiona.
Okay, there were
Marcus Howard, test 1, 2, 3.